everyone, welcome again to my channel. Today we'll be talking about online lesson. I'm sure it's a topic you've all been waiting for, right? Good. My name is Abimbola and you're welcome to Abisisu Concept. So let's start by defining online lesson. Online lesson is basically learning done over the internet. Now in time past, the traditional way of studying was the in thing, especially for children in preschool, grade school and high school. But now things are taking a different turn. The pandemic that hit the world has been one of the major reasons why we now have a boost in the online sector. That is not to say the online learning, virtual learning, distance learning has not been in existence. In fact, it has been in existence for a very, very long time. Enrolling your child for online learning comes with its unique challenges, and those challenges weigh heavily on the guardians. I'm talking to you, parents. So I know that this is a trying time for everyone because it's not easy. It's a new terrain for many of us, but of course we get by as the times begin to unfold. So today we'll be talking about effective ways of helping the children, helping ourselves to help the children do better with their online learning. So let's talk about the effects of online learning on parents. Number one, parents struggle with balancing work time with online time. What I mean is, as a parent, most of us have to work. Even those who stay at home still have to work. So it's a bit difficult having to balance your work time with the time you have to spend monitoring the children and all that. So it's a bit of a challenge for most of us. Two, parents must be more involved to ensure that they cut the excesses that arise from children's behavior. You know, at this time, teachers are not there physically to check on the children. So we as parents must be there to monitor closely. Three, it affords parents enough time to monitor and work with their children, which is a welcome development for many stay-home moms and dads. They have time now to watch over their children and work with them. Isn't that fun? Four, learning to navigate through the learning systems, the learning platforms that our children use, can be an uphill task for some parents, and for some others it's just fantastic. Five, there's a thin line between being organized and disorganized for parents at this time. I'm sure that you have noticed that at this time you find it difficult to achieve certain tasks which you were able to do before now. So the online learning has brought a bit of, should I say, has interrupted our daily routine in a way, because we don't have as much time as we used to have to cater for other things. Now we have to focus on making sure the children are taken care of, are fine, are being monitored and all that. So it brings about a bit of disorganization. Nothing to worry about though. It's something that we need to work on and conquer. Okay, so you're not alone in that space. You're not alone. It's now time to talk about ways that we can help ourselves and help our children to have a better experience learning virtually. Tip number one, you have to accept the new reality and embrace it. Now let me give you a few advantages of doing this. It will help you to be less tense and more at ease at this time. It will give you a clearer picture and a better understanding of how to work with your child. It will help you navigate better through the online platforms that are available for your children, especially for the younger ones. Okay, I know that the senior ones find it a bit easier to navigate through their online platforms themselves, even though they need help sometimes. But the young ones need a lot of help. In fact, they are almost 100% dependent on us. Two, have discussions now more than ever before with your child or your children. Effective communication at this time is key, and I'll tell you why. It helps to prepare them for the known and unknown. Now, what do I mean by known and unknown? So, what are the things that our children know already? I'm talking about the younger ones now. They know that, okay, for my virtual class, I'm going to make use of a device, a laptop, a phone. They know that they're not going to school to receive this online learning. Okay, so these are examples of things that they know already. How about things that they do not know? They don't know how long. Yes, they might have a picture of the fact that they will spend 1 hour, 2 hours online, but the actual sitting down all through that time, you just can't know until you experience it. Okay, so having discussions with your children will help to cushion all these effects. It will also help to cushion the emotional, physical, intellectual, social strain that comes with virtual learning. Effective communication will also help to bridge the gap that virtual learning doesn't cater for completely. You know, we have different types of learners with different learning styles. Okay, we have the visual learners who enjoy the online lessons. We have the auditory learners who like to listen. They also enjoy. But we have some children who like to touch and feel and do all of that. That might not be so possible with the online learning, right? So for such children, communicating with them, having effective discussions with them will help to reinforce what has been taught in class. It will also help them to articulate everything that they have learned. Okay, so having healthy and effective communication cannot be underestimated. It's very, very important. Tip number 3, build a well-planned schedule. So having a planned schedule will help the children conform to a great degree, especially when you are not around. When it's time to come up with a timetable, you must work hand in hand with your child. Make sure that in that timetable you have time to study, you have times to take a break, you have time for exercise, you have time to eat, you have time to rest, and you have time to stay off the screen, which is very important. So make sure that you plan it out. Again, make sure that you do it with your child so that your child can understand and take ownership, especially when you're not around. So if you have not done it yet, please do it right away. Make sure you plan a timetable now more than ever before for your child to ensure effective transition from lesson to break time and to other times during the day. You must set boundaries for the children. For example, you must let them know that screen time is not always alone time, because you realize that in this era of virtual learning, you have your children or your child saying, "Mom, don't worry, I'm fine," all alone all the time with the laptop. Online time is not always alone time. So let's set those boundaries and let the children know, and they will conform. Okay? Parents, please ensure that your children are learning. Ensure that they are doing their homework, because many times as a teacher I have discovered that even when the children say they are working, you discover that many times they don't get to complete their classwork. For some of them though, some don't do their classwork at all. Some do it to a point and stop. Some do it very well. Yes, I must say that. So it varies from child to child, home to home. Let us monitor closely. I can't overemphasize that word. Let's monitor closely. It's very important at this time, so that our children don't lag behind. Because when a child doesn't complete his or her classwork, and then they don't complete their homework, it just means that they're not able to meet up with the objectives for that lesson. So they begin gradually, it might not be obvious at first, but they begin to gradually lose it. So at some point you discover that they're not doing so well. A child who was doing very well in class is no longer doing so well. These are some of the reasons why such things happen. Ensure that your internet provider at home is fast and efficient, because Most times, internet disruption affects the children in diverse ways. It just throws them off balance. So let's ensure that the internet provider we're using at home is seamless. Help the children to stay motivated. Parents, at this time, children need you to speak to them, to speak to their psyche, to encourage them, because it's not easy. It's a terrain they are not used to. Our children are used to going to school in the morning, being there till in the afternoon, coming back home to do their homework and continue, go to bed, wake up the next morning, come to school and all of that. But now it's not as usual. So let us speak to our children, look them in the eyes, hold them by their hands, encourage them, positively affirm them. Okay, it's very important. I talked about positive affirmations some time ago. Go back to that video, watch it, listen to it, encourage the children, motivate them to be the best version of themselves. It will really help them and it will go a long way. In conclusion, let us not turn our children to adults overnight by transferring the burden that we should carry over to them. What do I mean by this? I'm trying to say that everything we need to do, we must do. Let us not assume that the children can handle it. They can do it. It's not a big deal. What's there? No, we shouldn't say that at all. They are little children. Even for our teenagers, they need as much support. Even though it seems like they're fine, you know, they put up a straight face, Mom, I'm fine, Dad, I'm fine, it's okay, everything is fine. But we must go deeper, we must dig deeper and help to lift the burden that comes with this style of learning. With time, we'll get used to it, the children will get used to it, and then everything will flow as usual. We've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much, guys, for being here with me from the beginning all the way to the end. I have learned a lot and I'm sure you have too. Thank you and see you next time. Bye.